What's up, guys? I have another deck list to show you. This is a water wind medical deck, but it's kind of different from the other medical decks that I've seen. So I'm just going to get right into it with the 0 drops. First, we have 3 Hotaru, water wind, staple, draws you a card, can get big. 2 Gara Childhood. It's a really good win 0 drop, and in any deck that you can go into Gara Tamari, you should, because it's really good. Next, we have 2 Shino Aburame. So this guy's really cool. When he receives damage due to the showdown, you can put a 0/0 insect coin into play. So pretty much you're only going to get his effect twice naturally if you're able to block a team that doesn't kill him outright. Well, actually you would still get his effect once, but he's really good because there's a lot of healing in this deck, so you can use him to block and he takes the damage from the showdown, and then like you can heal him after, and so you can get multiple uses of his effect. And then even if he takes enough damage in the showdown to die, damage is given before he actually dies, so he would still get the bug. So pretty cool card. Next we have 1 Tracking Ninja. It's water and it has ambush, and it's a 4/1 on turn 0. 1 Jirobo, because he's water, he's a 4/0 turn 0, and then he can also go into Jirobo state 2, which is pretty cool. 1 Hanare, she's wind, just a decent 0 drop. Next we have the ones. We have 2 Tamari Wind Scythe to snipe stuff out of your opponent's hand to make sure that your jutsu can go off safely. And then we have 2 Karine, because this is a medical deck and it's water wind, so why not play 2? She has ambush, which is really good, and then she can heal pretty much every turn. And then we have 1 Kidomaru state 1, because state 2 is really good. Next we have 2 drops. We have 1 Shimon, just because you can search him in this deck, so you can grab him if you're in a matchup that your opponent wants to put in play a lot of ninjas. And then 1 Ino Playful, because she kind of has the same effect of Shimon, except she doesn't like stop you from putting in play your Kurenai or squatting or reinforcing into ninjas. So like if you were playing against a deck that Shimon would have a better matchup, like a deck that just wants to put in play a bunch of ninjas every turn, like puppets or something, you'd go for Shimon. But if you're just playing against a deck that maybe has the potential to put in play multiple ninjas a turn, you would go into Ino, because she doesn't stop you from like Kurenai or squatting or reinforcing up once a turn. And then we have 1 Pain Rockapath, because he can stall, and Heretical Icon heals, so that's important with the theme of the deck, is healing. Next we have 3 drops. We have 2 Sakura, because she can heal during every exchange of jutsu, and she can also injure your other ninjas, which lets you be able to heal them in other ways. And then we have 2 Utakata. When he comes into play, you pay 2 wind, and then you can draw 2. That's really good on a turn 3. Next we have 1 Naruto. He gets you back a battle reward, and then he can let you go into Sage Mode and Hokage. Next we have 1 4-drop Kurenai. She's wind. She can help you stall and save you the game. Next we have 5 drops. We have 1 Sorcery, because he has ambush and he can go into puppet mode, And then we have one Kabuto. He also has ambush, and he's medical, and he has a really good exchange of jutsu effect where you pay 2 chakra, discard a card, and then you negate a jutsu. So pretty solid 5-drop. And then last for ninjas is the 6 drops. We have 2 of the 5th Hokage. Why did I say 4th? 2 of the 5th Hokage. EOJ, she can heal a ninja and draw a card, which is really good for this deck because you want to be able to heal as much as you can. Pretty much, like, you'll block teams knowing that you're gonna lose just so you have ninjas to heal. Like, you have other ways to injure your own ninjas, but sometimes you just have to take damage from Showdown and risk getting, like, blown out by a jutsu. But she's really good. She has mastery and she's medical. Next, we have the client, which is kind of the engine of the deck. We have 2 Futaba. Every time you heal one of your injured ninjas, you draw a card. So that's not a once per turn effect. So every time you heal with Karin or Sakura or 5th Hokage or any of your jutsu, you're drawing a card. And that's why Sakura is also really cool in this deck, because she can injure another ninja to heal another ninja. So you set up your next turn heal for a card draw, which is really cool. Futaba lets you draw a bunch of cards in the deck. Next we have missions. We have 3 makeout tactics. This is pretty much why I made the deck part water, because makeout tactics is like one of the only missions that searches for a client, and Futaba is like the engine of the deck, so it's pretty important that you get her, and 3 of them just to maximize the odds of you drawing it. Then we have 3 Sakura's Decision. Really good in this deck because it makes it to where you don't have to rely on taking damage in the showdown to be able to heal your ninjas, and it's like a win-win. You injure one of your ninjas and then you draw cards. You're probably going to draw 2 or more cards off of this, and then you can use one of your many healing methods to heal and then draw from Futaba. So this card is pretty sick in the deck. And then next we have 2 Monster Research. It's just the best turn 2 water mission, so that's why I play it. And then 1 card, I'm not completely sure on this one, but 1 Eno's Tears. Originally, when this deck was just wind, I was playing like 3 of them because it's probably the best search mission in the game. But when I switched over to water and wind, it became less good because you have to pay wind for it, and then you also have to discard a wind card, and then like you can't search clients, you can only search ninja. So it's pretty good for getting 5th Hokage or like Kurenai or Sakura, but those are pretty much the only targets. Or you could get like Gaara or Tamari, whichever one you need to go into Gaara Tamari. So it's not bad, but I haven't really had a chance to test with it, so I don't know. It could end up not working very well in the deck, but for now it's here. And then 1 Onko's Memory, because it's a really good mission and it's limited to 1. Being able to get 3 cards back that are in your chakra that you might have used already or you had to charge early is really powerful, and there are ways of recycling this card, so even better in this deck. And then we have the 1 Medical Ninja. So the medical decks that I've seen, usually they try to like Medical Ninja is like their win condition. Like they'll play Medical Ninja and then what's that card? Sakura's Tears, I think. The one that lets you replay a mission from your discard or chakra. So they basically effectively have 2 Medical Ninja, and it's just like getting hit with 2 Naruto versus Sasuke. The second one is always going to be what kills you. So it's not as important in this deck, but you are able to recycle it, and it can win you the game because As far as medical goes, you have like Tsunade, Kabuto, Sakura, Ino, Karin, and that's it. But if you're able to split all them up into different teams of 5, you can win the game with this card. So limited to 1 too, so it's worth playing one of. Next we have Jutsu. We have 1 Big Bang because it's lets you draw cards. It's pretty good. 2 Ferocious Punch. It's a really good negate for medical decks. Next we have 2 Cherry Blossom Impact. This card, it requires Sakura Haruno plus Chunin or higher rank or Tsunade, and it targets every ninja battling against the user with printed entrance costs equal to or lower than that of the user, and the target becomes standby and you give a damage to it. So it's like Sakura and Tsunade's Fear by Genjutsu, which is really cool. It's basically like a fair Fear by Genjutsu because 1, it has a specific symbol in its cost, and 2, it has requirements for who can use it. So unlike the very broken and unfair card Fear by Genjutsu, it's actually really balanced, and that's really cool. It's really good in this deck. Next we have Hydro Pump, limited to 1. You're playing Wind, so obviously you play Hydro Pump, and it's even better in this deck because you can recycle it with Reanimation Ninjutsu. A lot of you guys are medical, so they're able to use this card, and this card, usually people will, if they're able to fit it in their deck, they will play it because it's limited to 1 and it's just that good. Like getting a card back, healing a ninja, drawing a card, really powerful, but it's even better in this deck. Both of these cards are even better in this deck because 1, Reanimation can get back Hydro Pump, and then 2, the last 2 jutsu I play are Medical Ninjutsu. So the requirement is Medicine combat attribute, and you target 1 of your injured ninjas. You heal the target, and then you move up to 3 cards from your discard pile to the top of your deck in any order. So if you have like this in the discard, or this, either one, or like really any jutsu that you want, and you play Medical Ninjutsu, you heal your ninja, and then you put 3 cards to the top of your deck, and then if you have Futaba out, which you probably will, you get to draw a card immediately after. So you put the top 3, or you put 3 cards from your discard back on your deck, and let's say you have Hydro Pump there, you put it on top, you immediately draw a card with Futaba, and then you have Hydro Pump to play again. And the reason that this card, Reanimation Ninjutsu, is limited to 1 is because you could, if it was at 3, you could cycle them and basically have infinite heal and draw a card, and infinitely like get back cards from your discard. So it makes your deck pretty much inevitable if you get to the late game. So that's why it's limited. But with Medical Ninjutsu, it's kind of like the 2nd and 3rd copy of Reanimation Ninjutsu if you already have the Reanimation Ninjutsu. So it's really good, and even if you don't have it, if you have Futaba out and you play this, you get back any of your powerful jutsu to use again, and then like eventually you'll find another one of these, or Reanimation, or like Anko's Memory, and then you just get it back and do it again. And then if you like Medical Ninjutsu back your Hydro Pump or something, and you have Tsunade out, well, she has Mastery, so you're basically going to be able to Hydro Pump every turn unless it gets negated, or if you use it twice in a turn. So it's really good. I thought it was a really cool idea for the deck, this Medical Ninjutsu plus Reanimation Ninjutsu, to have like a really strong late game. So yeah, that's the deck. The extra deck, I don't have it right now because I just did another video for my particle style deck, but you would have like puppet modes for him. You would have the Naruto reinforcements for him. and then probably anything like Sakura Tsunade, that squad maybe, and then Heretical Icon for Narakapath, a couple Keto State 2s, and then like 3 Gara Tamari squads. But that's pretty much it. So let me know what you guys think about this different take on the medical deck, and I will see you next time.